everyone, it's Ardith, and I've got 2 cards today using the new Backyard Bird Friends set from Essentials by Ellen. To start, I created masks of each of the 4 birds. I used full back sticky notes, stamped each bird on the top one, and then cut 4 masks at one time. Once I had all the masks done, I started the stamping. I started in the bottom row to help me keep the rows straight, and I started in the center with this small bird. I chose my order based on which way each bird was facing. I wanted them to alternate left and right. I could have used my MISTI for this and it would have resulted in more precise placement, but I felt it was going to be faster to stamp them with an acrylic block. I repeated the small bird with the black face at the top to fill in the panel. Next, I placed the masks on all the birds except the top row. I'll just reuse the bottom masks when I get there. And then I got out my Post-it tape to mask some stripes for ink blending. I used the grid marks on my work surface and I positioned the stripes so that it was in the center of the birds and parts of the tops and bottoms of the image were outside of the stripe. I used Catherine Pooler ink and life-changing blending brushes to put down the ink. I've recently re-inked my Catherine Pooler inks so they're good and juicy, and it was really easy and quick to get good dark coverage of each color. The full back sticky notes made sure that those masks stayed down really well and I didn't have any edges lifting while I was blending. I used the other edge of the Post-it tape for the next stripe before getting new tape so that I didn't contaminate any of my colors. When I got to the top row of birds, I lifted up the masks from the bottom row and reused them with another color. Finally, it was time to remove the masks. This part is always magic, isn't it? To add some dimension to the birds, I got out 4 toner gray Copic markers and then only used 2 of them. This gave me some subtle color and dimension without actually coloring the birds gray, if you know what I mean. To finish this card, I trimmed the panel with a pierced rectangle die and I adhered it to the white card base. I stamped one of the sentiments on a circle die cut and then I trimmed that with the pierced rectangle die to leave less space around the sentiment and so that it would fit right in at the top edge of my panel. My second card uses the nest in the set and a rainbow of Catherine Pooler inks to create a colorful frame. I'm not sure that Brandi intended this when she designed it, but I like to use stamps in different ways. I started in the bottom right corner and I stamped the nest with Tiki Torch, and then I moved along, stamping the next one about halfway along. When I got to each corner, I simply turned the panel and started over. The overlap of each nest creates new shapes and colors in the frame. To finish this card, I stamped the nest again in black in the center, along with the sentiment. I stamped and colored some eggs, and then I added a die-cut bird and 1 die-cut egg. I hope you enjoyed this video. This stamp is full of classic images and sentiments and fun possibilities. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.